Thank you
All
very
yours,
much.
Steve.
Thank you very much, Bill. I'd like to call this meeting to order. It is the March 5th, 2026 meeting of the Norwalk Shellfish Commission, and has attendance been taken?
It has.
Thank you, sir. And the commissioner notes that four commissioners are present, thus we do have a quorum. Approval of the minutes from the February meeting. A motion to approve?
I make a motion, Pete Johnson.
Thank you, Pete. And a second for anyone who was in attendance?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark. And all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And I still see no attendees, so we'll move from public comment right to the treasurer's report. Please, Bill.
Sure. So this month, on the February 5th, rather, it's not this month, but the month of February, on the 5th, two of the checks went into the account, one for $462, the other for $3,441. Those were as a result of shellfishing permits gathered. So that brought the balance to $32,553. Then on February 12th, there was an expenditure in the amount of $556. That was for the New Year permits.
Got it.
So that brings the current balance to $31,997.
Thank you, sir. Is that complete?
That is complete, yes.
Thank you, sir.
Hey,
Secretary.
Bill, given that you're speaking, I just wanted to thank you for sending out that.
Wow,
thank you,
it's
Martha.
very,
No problem.
I came from here today. Yeah. Nice, yeah.
And the chair notes that Commissioner Sachinelli has joined at 6:32. Great, Nick.
Probably
Good to
with a
see you.
nice tan.
Yeah, sir.
I just thought I'd give you a quorum. I can't stay that long because I'm on a ship.
Yeah, quorum's present, so no worries, Nick. Thank you for coming. Just one note in the secretary's report. Last month, we resolved to send a letter to Her Honor expressing our support for the reinstatement of Dr. John Pinto to the Norwalk Shellfish Commission. I did receive a very polite letter from Her Honor in that regard, but she has declined officially to reappoint Dr. Pinto. Committee reports. Department of Health, and back to you, Bill.
Sure. If I could just ask everybody to mute themselves, there's some background noise. If you don't mind, that's good. Sorry, thank you. So for the month of February, we had 1.09 inches of rain, which is quite low. Last year it was 3.31, historically 2.91. There were no closures and no reported bypasses. That's the end of my report.
Thanks, Bill. Wastewater treatment plant, no report. The Mayor's Water Quality Committee, no report. I don't have information from Her Honor as to whether or not she wants to rekindle that committee. Back to you for permits, Bill, though I think we have the info. Anything from the potential new vendor yet?
No, I was hoping to get out there this week, but I've been really swamped with work and I just couldn't get out there. Yeah.
Are you talking about All American Tax?
Yes, I am.
Nick, I think you should mute Nick. I think we have background from you.
Could everyone please mute?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. I'm sorry, John, what was that?
John, could you repeat yourself?
Is that All American Tackle that you're referring to the other vendor?
That is
Yes,
correct.
sir.
Yeah, he probably won't be around for a little bit. Do you have his cell phone number?
I do, yeah. The last one went by, it was closed for the season, so maybe next month it'll start to open up.
I might be able to reach out. Nick, you need to turn off your mute. You need to mute it, Nick, please. Thanks.
Does that conclude everything for permits?
Yes, it does.
Okay, Norwalk Police, Marine Unit, Sergeant Bisegli, please, sir.
Hey guys, nothing to report on our end. The ice in the harbor is all finally broken up. Still frozen pretty good upriver, but that should be breaking up coming up this week. It looks like with the 60s. Water temps like 34, 35-ish. So all quiet.
Gotcha. Thank you, sir. Advisory. I do not see our new advisory in attendees nor panelists. So I will move on to Norwalk Harbor Management Commission. Past chair or current chair? Are you present? No? Going once?
Steve, this is Bill. I did reach out to Jeff Mengels
Yeah,
with an email indicating that if he wanted to attend, that to let me know, but I haven't heard back from him, and I did give him the option that going forward, I can put him on the Zoom invite list if he, wanted to attend. So
true.
maybe we'll hear from him, in the near future.
Or he could assign a representative. Doesn't necessarily have to be the chair, right?
Understood.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. All right, that's it. So committee reports are completed. Motion to accept them as presented, please.
So
I make the
moved.
motion. Pete, I second.
All right, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay.
Aye.
So let's move right on, since we had no objection, right into new business. And first on the agenda tonight is 17 Mac. We have a number of attendees, and I assume those that I'm not all that familiar with are representing that project. So if you would like to take the floor, please do so. That you, I know.
Yes, thank you, Commissioner Bartosh. For the record, Matt Schuler, licensed professional engineer, working with South Norwalk Boat Club on the state application. I'm going to share my screen with you guys just now. Or I won't. Oh, there it goes. All right. Can everyone see aerial imagery, Norwalk Harbor?
Looks good, Matt, thanks.
Okay, great. As I'm sure you're all familiar, Norwalk Harbor, this application has to do with South Norwalk Boat Club on 17 Mac Street, located over here. This specific application has to do with the southern dock tree and the southernmost finger docks along that dock tree. Currently, there's some 2-foot by 16-foot fingers out here with some pretty decent exposure to the harbor and Long Island Sound. You can see the fetch distance here coming in. So due to some concerns about the stability of the docks there and just safety and just general quality of use of these slips, the boat club is proposing to enlarging the finger docks at that location to 3-foot by 26-foot finger docks, leaving the westernmost 3 2-foot by 16-foot finger docks in place to allow for as much of a fairway as we can get to access further west into these finger docks close to land over here. There's going to be a reduction in total amount of fingers, an increase in square footage of the docks over water, and they're also going to be putting piles in at the end of each of these finger docks to help with stability on floats. Now, again, part of the rationale for lengthening them is the marina services about 20 to 25-foot long boats over here, obviously longer than the 16-foot finger docks that are currently existing. So the new docks, in addition to providing some additional stability and ease of use of the slips, you're going to be able to get some bow ties, stern ties appropriately, as would be recommended for boats in that size range. Similarly, the T head is going to get extended out from currently 22 feet to 26 feet. Again, just for consistency with the rest of the finger docks, and then moving that existing pile south to reattach to that T head. That's really the high level overview of what the boat club is proposing to do. So with that, I will turn over to the commissioners for any questions or comments on this project.
Yeah, I remember months ago, maybe as long as a year ago, the commission was here with respect to their commentary regarding an adjacent property, and this project was mentioned. Is this in fact the one that was being discussed at that time?
I may have not been a party to that specific meeting. I know there are plans to extend this finger dock here of this southern property, 26 Shore Park Road, I believe it is. They're going to be extending out to the edge of their littoral property extension here. So So bear with me 1 second here while I
And Matt,
Well,
just to
recording.
jump on there, yes, Commissioner Bardish, that is correct. That was the same thing we mentioned in the other meeting about a year ago. That was our thoughts to expand that area for the protection of the marina.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thanks, Glenn.
What did we, Steve, can you remind me what we, or the rest of us, what we did with 26 Shorefront? I thought we objected to that, so I'm not sure exactly where that project stands at this point.
Yeah, we did, and so a tentative determination to permit was issued by DEEP, and with some extension, and this information I know is in the possession of the boat club, and I don't know what their reaction was to it, frankly. If they'd like to comment here, they certainly can, but they don't have to, of course.
I mean, we were a little surprised that they did get approved for that after our email to the Shellfish Commission and also Harbor Commission and Susan Jacobson. We didn't get a response, and then we just heard they did get permitted for that expansion there.
Thanks, Glenn.
Yep.
Any questions, comments for Matt or any of the representatives of SNBC? I'd move that this probably doesn't require a site inspection. It's a property that we're all familiar with. It looks like the design is pretty straightforward. Without any comments or questions, someone like to move in terms of approval or otherwise?
I vote to
Commissioner
approve.
Page, I would have moved to approve. I'm sorry.
I
vote-
second it.
Any discussion further? Hearing none, we'll call the vote. The ayes, please.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Hearing none, it approved. And good luck with this. We'll get the paperwork out to you guys, Matt.
Thank you so much, Commissioner.
Thanks so much, Commissioner.
Thank you very
We
much.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome, guys. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Next on new business is 160 Water Street. So if you guys would like to take the lead, please go ahead.
Alan, I need that to be your cue.
Believe this is my item. I am Aaron Ho with, or see, I am taking the lead with this, correct?
You are, Aaron. Sorry, my fault.
Okay, sorry. So I'm standing in for Jim Meehan, the head of our department. He's attending a different meeting at the moment. But I guess just some background for the project. So at the property 160 Water Street, there is a city storm sewer that runs through the property and at the marina there. Actually, let me share my screen just so that you all have some visual reference. All right, so everyone sees this?
Yes.
So at 160 Water Street, there is a city stormwater outfall, and it's a pretty major one. And as a result, some road sediments get deposited at the marina there intermittently. And the city has an obligation per an agreement associated with our easement there to maintain that area. Whenever the sediment builds up beyond a foot above an agreed upon elevation established at the time of that easement was acquired. So we were basically asked by the property owner to survey that area that's part of the agreement. You can see it here. And we determined that, in fact, significant sediment has built up. So now we're in the process of putting together a project to get that area dredged. So I guess just some stats if you all need. It's basically a, let me pull this up. Say the area is about 2,320 square feet, and we're planning to remove 200 cubic yards of material. And let's see, and the average depth of material to be removed, roughly 3 feet. So, let's see, I think that's the gist of it. So I'll turn it over to you gentlemen for questions and comments.
Hey, thanks a lot, Aaron. So, first question, what specifically are you asking from us, and in what format, and to whom?
I think we were in the process of applying for a DEEP permit, and as part of that process, we were advised that if there is a Shellfish Commission, that there's an additional form to be filled out. And let me just pull it up so I can
Okay,
see.
there it is.
So this LWRD license application here.
Okay,
And let's see. Completed by the Shellfish Commission. So I guess we will ask the Shellfish Commission, you all, to complete this second part of the permit application here.
yeah, thanks. And that form's very familiar to us. So, I'll open it up to the other commissioners, but my second and maybe last question is, would it be possible for the applicant, the city, whomever, just to give us some documentation showing that this was dredged in the past?
Oh yes, we could provide that. The last time it was dredged was in 2012, 2013, I believe.
Okay, that would be great if you could do that. No further questions from me. Commissioners, anything for Aaron?
Isn't this a COP?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, just making
Well,
sure.
No, I don't think so from the heading of that document.
Oh no, the COP is a separate thing, but this other document here, this
There's a full license pre-submission.
But we're doing the COP alongside this, I believe.
And so that's not something, Aaron, that we would see normally. We generally receive them as a function of the courtesy of the Harbor Management Commission. They've had some changeover right now with a new person running their application review committee and a new chair. So if it would be possible to send us the COP, that would be great as well.
Oh, sure. Could do that.
Thanks.
And I guess, sorry, I have a question. Is there anything specific you would like to see in regards to any previous dredging projects?
Yeah, just proof that it was done.
Okay.
That it was approved and completed.
Okay, approved and completed.
The other thing is, I don't understand why you're submitting a new application. It's been dredged before and everything, and they've cleaned it before. Why doesn't it come under a COP?
Honestly, I do not know the answer to that one. It's something that's done every decade and a half, so I don't know if that has to do with why we
I know
need
that's
to.
what gets me. It's been done so many times that you think it'd be under a COP and not a new permit.
Maybe that's worth inquiring because that would save a lot of hassle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, thanks.
Well, regardless, if it has been dredged before and there's proof of it, then it seems pretty rough for us to give our.
We didn't catch that for the record, John. Could you repeat, please?
If it's been dredged before and there's proof of it, then, it seems it's pretty rough that they're going to do this.
I don't copy that. Does anyone else copy, Commissioner Pagler? No, I don't either. John, we can wait a few minutes, but in the meantime, Mr. Stedman from Advisory has a comment or question. Please, Jeff.
Just for some background, when the federal channel was dredged, the first phase was, I believe, started in 2004. the material from underneath the I-95 bridge was contaminated and had to be placed in what's called a confined aquatic disposal cell, which the Corps dredged in the Upper Harbor Channel. And as part of that, we were able to work with the Corps to get the material from the marina storm drains. There were two storm drains, I believe, on Water Street, including this one that the city is responsible for removing the accumulated sediment. And I believe also we were able to put in the material from the South Norwalk Boat Club into the confined aquatic disposal cell because the material was contaminated. So I'm assuming that the material here is also contaminated. It's not a big volume, but it can't go as far as, based on the past experience, it can't go to Long Island Sound. It has to be disposed either in a CAD cell or some sort of a appropriate upland facility. I mean, I can go back and look at the records that I have of that, but that was a big effort with the Harbor Commission at the time for the Corps of Engineers to agree that the material from these areas could go into the federal CAD cell. But of course, that's closed now. But it's worth going back into the history. I mean, Mr. Ho said he thought it was 2012, 2013. My recollection is it was 2004, 2005 thereabouts. But that can all be checked. All those records exist.
That 2004 might have been the then previous time that was dredged. But so yeah, I wasn't involved in nor my boss was involved in the previous dredging. Most of the people involved with that are now retired. So, but I believe it was disposed of in some upland facility, and there was a bunch of environmental testing done on the material. But,
Thanks. So just in following this discussion, I think that we perhaps, commissioners might conditionally approve this based on one, a proof that it was approved and dredged in the past, which is just a function of paperwork. And number two, a condition that appropriate disposal plan is documented.
That's what I was trying to say earlier, Steve. I was looking for that.
Thinking alike there, John. So I'll give you the honor of making that motion if you like, sir.
I'll make the motion.
All right. Thanks, Pete. And a second?
Second.
Thanks, Mark. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Hearing none, this carries. And yeah, Aaron, if you could just get this to us. I know you have Bill's email, and Bill can distribute it out to the commissioners, and we'll get our end of the paperwork done quickly after receiving same. So thank you, sir.
all right, understood. Thank you, gentlemen.
Not at all. And with our reversed business, moving on to old business for 20 Wharf. 20 Wharf was presented by Tom Ryder last month, and Mr. Ryder was seeking our input regarding the stationing, even temporarily so, of a barge on the sediment at some or all cycles of the tide for a riprap project in the area. So what the commission decided was that there needed to be some follow-up with respect to the sediments there and the actual biota on the beds. And we asked Mr. Ryder for the coordinates of the 4 points of the barge such that an experimental dredge could be taken of the area to determine what's there. But to my knowledge, we have not received those GPS coordinates. So frankly, I don't know where this inquiry or application stands currently. We could certainly follow up with him to see, and if they, meaning the applicant and DEEP, have moved this beyond us at this point. I hope not. And second and last part of old business was the Maritime Aquarium Oyster Restoration Project. So we did receive a nice draft of their letter, and Bill helped with the execution of that. So we are officially a junior partner on this, and gives them some credibility. And we're more than invited to be involved, and certainly to go down there and watch as the project takes form. So one of the most worthwhile things I've seen, especially because it involves the marine science students here in the city.
It looks like they buoyed off an area.
Nice.
The east end of Vets Park, southeast, I should say.
Okay, great. So that's just probably preparatory for the coach going down there, no?
Yeah.
Nice, very nice. We've reached the end of our business. If there are no comments or questions moving forward, we'll move over to April, and we'll keep an eye on what the agenda will be for next month's meeting. So a motion to, go ahead, John.
Just quickly, if nobody mind. I'm curious, after seeing Bay Scallops, East and North Vineyard, do we have any waters that would support Bay Scallops here?
Something about bay scallops? I didn't hear the question.
I wonder, do we have waters that would support Bay Scallops here?
Pete, that's a good question for you. Bay scallop,
We
Norwalk.
used to have them off of where Tavern Island is, around that area. Was a good scalloping area years ago, where you still had the eelgrass all around and everything. But I haven't heard anything else. You find scallop shells.
Yeah, we used to find them in Westport's waters. I mean, this is back in my childhood. Mr. Stedman?
Did you want me to make some comments, Steve? I was a little late joining the meeting.
Yeah, no worries. Without objection, Mr. Stedman could give his advisory report.
Thank you, everybody, for listening too. Regarding that South Norwalk Boat Club proposal, that's interesting because that is one of the reasons I remember that the Harbor Commission had real concerns about the project at 26 Shorefront Park, because that project would result in the users of that docking facility using the South Norwalk Boat Club's littoral area for access, and we were concerned about conflicts. And then, as you mentioned, Steve, there was a public notice issued by DEEP of their tentative determination to approve that 26 Shorefront Park project, and that would have given the opportunity for people concerned to petition for a public hearing on that project. But interestingly, that wasn't we didn't see that on the DEEP website, and so there was concerns that it wasn't on the website published for the total period of time that it should have been. But I guess that's a moot point now because the permit was issued. But again, it raises the issues we had about potential conflicts and the use of adjoining properties littoral area. And then just a couple of things, I won't take your time, but as we talked about last month, John Pinto wasn't reappointed to the Harbor Commission, and just to say it once again, I believe that was a significant loss for the Harbor Commission, including the situation tonight when we're talking about the dredging at the city with the city storm drains, because John was involved in all of that work with the DPW at the time and the Corps of Engineers to get that material into the CAD cell. But more importantly, John, I think should be recognized as a person who really took public service seriously. He didn't look at the applications before us, to make friends with the developer or maybe to get a better job if the project was approved. But he looked at it as a responsibility to review the work of the proposals in the public interest. That was his main concern. And we said that right at the beginning with the railroad bridge and the Eversource project. Wasn't the Harbor Commission's responsibility to build the bridge or relocate the lines. The responsibility was to review those projects in the public interest and make recommendations to protect the public interest. And John lived up to all of those. In addition, not being reappointed affects other harbor commissions too, because he was the president of the State Association of Harbor Management Commissions. And we're still working on the legislation to uphold the Municipal Harbor Management Authority, which can be used to implement the shellfish, your concerns as well. So now we have to sort of readjust that approach. Whether we'll be successful this year, I don't know, because it's a short legislative session and we have to influence the Environment Committee on short notice. But again, I'm just saying this to state the obvious, that John was a looked at his job truly as a responsibility to the public. And then on the Norwalk River watershed-based plan, still don't know the schedule for the draft update to be presented for final public comments. I went to the watershed meeting last month, and it was a very good meeting. Interestingly, only Wilton and New Canaan of the 7 watershed towns contribute the dues, if that's the right word, for this organization. And we mentioned that, right at the start of the watershed-based planning process in 1997, the principal purpose was to protect shellfish resources in Norwalk Harbor, recognizing that the bacteria and pollution from throughout the watershed affects the harbor. And one of the things we mentioned at the last meeting was the project that was done, the study by Professor Hart, looking at the upstream water quality sampling data and relating it to the shellfish water quality sampling data in the harbor. And that clearly demonstrated that when that bacteria goes up in the middle part, the most urbanized part of the watershed, it goes up, the bacteria goes up in the harbor too. And that middle part of the watershed is now where the DOT is proposing and is planning that Route 7 Merritt Parkway interchange, which has a significant, appears, additional amount of impervious surface. So when John, one of the last things he was working on was a letter to DEEP, not DEEP, to the DOT, requesting information on how they intend to manage stormwater. So when we're talking about, and I think maybe next month might suggest for the Shellfish Commission to consider a response to the watershed-based plan that might include a recommendation or a policy that infrastructure projects shouldn't result in direct discharges into the Norwalk River, and the work should mitigate the stormwater management. And then the other part of that, of course, is that the development shouldn't supersede goals for development, shouldn't supersede goals for environmental protection. But it was very interesting that all the interest in the watershed plan years ago, whether that still exists now, but hopefully it does. And then just a couple of other things to mention. Stanford Harbor Commission is also the Shellfish Commission, although it's the Stanford Harbor Management and Shellfish Commission, and they're going through the process now of leasing is the word, a commercial bed in Stanford Harbor that they have responsibility over. There was a 5-year lease that's just expired, and they put out a request for proposals for renewing the lease, if that's the right word. And that now we're talking about the requirement in the lease that ground be cleaned, planted, and harvested as a condition of the lease in Stanford Harbor. So there's interesting, and we're also adding shellfish management provisions to the Stanford Harbor Management Plan, which will then classify the Harbor Management Plan also as the Shellfish Plan. And the Bureau of Aquaculture is working with us on that. And the Town of Greenwich and Harbor Commission is working with its Shellfish Commission on the same thing, to add a shellfish management plan to the Harbor Management Plan. And as I mentioned, there was a big issue in Greenwich. This is the last thing I'll say. At the end of last year and this year, about a new dock being permitted by DEEP on a natural shellfish bed that had never been disturbed before. And DEEP's final approval was that it can only be used for hand paddled craft, not any motorized vessel. And they have conditions in the permit having to do during construction when the pilings can be driven, and then also about the staging of the barge that would be driving the pilings. So the most recent communication is the Harbor Commission and Shellfish Commission have asked DEEP, how do you intend to enforce these conditions? Would you have someone on site when the work is ongoing? Would you ask the Harbor Commission to provide some sort of monitoring assistance? And then what's the remedy if the person brings in a motorized boat to this? So we're asking DEEP how they intend to enforce those conditions. So there's a lot of interesting stuff, and if you don't mind, I'd like to provide before next month some suggestions that you might want to submit to the watershed planning process. And another question about that is, how does it get adopted? There's 7 towns. How do they intend to have the towns endorse the update to the watershed-based plan? And that's one of the things that we're being considered now. Would the chief elected officials sign some sort of a endorsement? How would that work? And would the Shellfish Commission be involved in signing a letter of endorsement of some sort? But anyway, thanks, Steve, for letting me go on about this.
Not at all. Thank you, Jeff. I would suggest that perhaps, Jeff, if you could summarize that so that we could make 1 or 2, I guess, items for new business for discussion for the next meeting. That would be great. That can go over to Bill. So since Jeff's...
Excuse me, I have one question. Does anybody know why she didn't accept him coming back in? The mayor didn't accept.
Yeah, I can forward the text of her commentary. As I mentioned in the opening, it was a very cordial denial.
I mean, I just don't understand. Well, I should understand it. They did it to me, so.
So
Okay.
since Jeff's report was out of sequence, as a committee report, we should approve his commentary. Just approve that it is accepted as presented. So just a motion for that, guys?
I'll make a motion.
Thanks. And second that if you could, Mark?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Thanks. And all in favor?
Aye.
So that'll complete the committee reports and the meeting essentially. Just want to note that my gaze at my phone was correct, that Commissioner Pedro left at 7:01. And that's all we have for the month of March. And a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Thanks, Mark. And second, Pete? A second, Pete?
Yes.
Thanks. And all in favor?
Aye.
That's it. So have a good Friday and a good weekend, everyone.
Yep.
And we'll see you next month, if not sooner.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Take care.
Night all.
Bye, y'all.
Good night.
Night.
Thank you, Sergeant. Thanks for coming.